welcome to the highlights. A day that began with England deep in trouble. It looked, in fact, as though it might even be the last day of the match, not just the fourth day. 135 for 6 they were at the start of play, with Downton 14 not out and Cook 0 not out. 135 for 6, and that meant they were 103 runs ahead with just 4 wickets in hand. Conditions were good. There were 1 or 2 very black clouds around, and there's a possibility that that might just help the pace bowlers a little, might move the ball around, and certainly it did so for Malcolm Marshall as we pick him up now in the very first over of the day. It's the 5th ball. He's bowling to Downton, and no runs are on the board. Those runs of the morning for Downton. There'll be no shortage of applause here today, even though it's a smaller crowd. Every run absolutely vital to England's chances. Never right off the side that has to bowl last. I wonder if Malcolm Marshall's had some reaction from the work he did on Saturday, because he's off a short run and he's only bowling medium pace. And he's got it, even though Richards came across in front of him. Clive Lloyd caught that. That's got to be one of the best catches we'll see in a long time. He must have been obscured and put off by Viv Richards, but still managed to catch it. And Marshall has struck at medium pace.
And if you watch carefully, I think you'll see that Nick Cook's trying to get the bat out the way in the end, and it just hits the middle of the bottom. And a brilliant catch there by Clive Lloyd. Richards diving in front of him. But a very fine catch indeed, and Nick Cook returning to the pavilion with 0 against his name.
Off the mark. Oh, close. More than that, it's out. And it looked absolutely plumb from here. That was beaten for a little bit of extra pace. Marshall, still only medium fast this morning, but he's picked up 2 wickets. And Pringle goes for 2. LBW to Marshall. It's 140 for 8 now.
Not much doubt about this. He's, in the main, swung the ball away this morning. And that just coming on, moving slightly into Pringle and right in front of his stumps.
Four runs. It's a good shot too from Paul Hallett.
Fine stroke this from Paul Hallett. Remember, in his test match debut he did get 50, so he's no mug with the bat. It's a very high-class shot indeed.
And he's gone. Another one to Marshall, 6 for him, equaling the most number of wickets he's taken in a test match innings, and he's doing it all at, well, I suppose about 3/4 rat power.
And this really is a terrific delivery. Pitching there and keeping really very low indeed. And just trapping him in front of the off stump.
24.4 overs, 9 maidens, 6 for 44. England 114 ahead. 4 runs to Willis. Brings up the 150 for England. Some cheer from the morning. Hasn't been much before that. Wickets falling everywhere. 150 for 9. Willis goes to 4. Downton is 19. Still fighting out there. Shot. There's 4. That may well turn out to be Downton's tactics here. He might reckon it's better to try and pick up 8 runs in the last 2 balls and then take the risk on Willis getting a single. And he's gone this time. Inside edge, I suspect. Marshall has 7 wickets. His best ever figures in Test match cricket. He's taken all 4 to fall this morning. And right on the point of half an hour after the start of play, England, having been 135 for 6 at the start, have been dismissed for 159. And Marshall has 7 for 53 from 26 overs and 9 maidens. And whatever ovation he gets from this crowd and his teammates is thoroughly deserved. A marvellous performance. The best ever bowling figures by a West Indian at Headingley, beating the previous best by Frank Worrell in 1957, where Worrell took 7 for 70. Marshall 7 for 53 from 26 overs and 9 maidens. A sensational performance. Indeed, it was a sensational performance to pick up those last 4 wickets. Downton for 27, then Cook, Pringle and Allott for not very many runs at all. Willis once again not out for 5, his 55th not out in Test match cricket. 159 all out, and the West Indies bowling figures, just look at that line on top. Malcolm Marshall, 2 fractures of the left thumb, 26 overs, 9 maidens, 7 for 53. Garner took 2 wickets and the other 2, Holding and Harper, didn't bowl today. And Baptiste didn't even bowl in the innings. So that meant that West Indies needed 128 to win. And that, I reckon, is about 80 short of what England really needed to set them a proper target. Here's the first over now, and it's the second ball. And it's the second ball, in fact, with a new ball, because the first one was damaged and had to be by umpire Constant rushing off the field. Willis is the bowler. He's coming in from the Kirkstall Lane end. Greenwich is taking strike, and no runs are on the board.
It's a fairly normal way for Gordon Greenwich to get off the mark these days. Over pitch ball cracked through mid-on for 4. He loves to get away with a resounding thwack. It's usually a square cut, in fact. He's made it today with a very good on drive. There's 4 more, and Gordon Greenwich is in a hurry. In fairness, there were 2 half volleys, but half volley is a half volley to Greenwich, no matter who bowls it and when he bowls it. Allott then to Haynes. It's over pitched. Another juicy half volley, and Haynes not going to miss out on those either. It's 4 more. There's a half volley, and there's 4 more runs. Perfect illustration there of the on drive.
You can't hit him any better than this.
Weather set fine here. sunshine, but clouds are fairly high. The light's good. And Willis will bowl to Haynes. John's there. He's found a big gap on the onside. It's Haynes. Just about to stop it before it reaches the rope. He just stroll very casually 3 runs. Takes him on to the 30 mark.
Up for West Indies. I haven't got a count of how many half-century partnerships they've had, but you can bet there's quite a few that have come along. 60 times together, Agent Haynes. To Greenwich. Shot. Beautiful timing, 4 runs. Nice shot by Desmond Haynes. It'll run down the hill. It'll beat Pringle. And a good firm stroke from Haynes through that gap between stump 4. Greenwich 67 for naught.
Derek Pringle taking over from the Kirkstall Lane end.
Starts off with a nice slow, medium, long hop.
Well, what can you say? You can't bowl it any worse than that. If he knew he was going to bowl after lunch, he should have been out in front having a loosener up.
That's going to be 4. Possibly off around about the glove area, just over the top of Downton's outstretched hands. Probably the first quickly, see if he can come back from the second. Indeed he can. And so the 100 will go up on the board. And yet again, these two have got the side away with a century partnership. 46 of those to Greenwich and 41 to Haynes.
A good shot in the end. That kicked, apart from the spin that was on it. And even though it's inevitable that West Indies are going to win this match, there's no let-up out there. This pair and Haynes have a matter of pride to spur them on. They're going to try and get through without losing a wicket and keep up the standard of the West Indies, which has been so remarkable in recent times. And they won't do it now because Haynes has gone full of the leading edge. Out at extra cover off Nick Cook. Well, that must have pitched round about Midland leg, I would think.
You can see the line of the bat. He's whipping up wide of mid-on, and he just straightens. And Fowler picks up a marvellous catch there at extra cover.
David Gower, who's not had the best 3 test matches of all time so far. Doesn't even have anything running properly for him in the field. Very safe pair of hands normally.
And a very straightforward first slip catch.
And he's gone. Cook has picked up his second wicket. It's a bit late now. And Greenwich just missed his half-century. Inside edge onto the pad. Paul Terry takes catch in Test match cricket. And the West Indies now 108 for 2. Too few to play with, 127. But Nick Cook showing now with 2 for 14 from 7 overs that it might have been possible to put a lot of pressure on the West Indians, given another 80-odd runs. And of course you must take into account a player like Viv Richards, who just comes out and whacks the first one without being quite sure that it was going to spin or go on with the arm, thrashes it past point. Oh no! Paul Allett at mid-on.
Well, this is quite remarkable. Perfectly straightforward, flip to mid-on, and down it goes.
Well, he's absolutely right. Don't know from he picked up the billboard, but it's going to be hanging above his mantelpiece, I should think, for quite some years. 4 more. That's a good shot. No ball as well. 127 for 2, so everything is all levelled up now, and West Indies need just 1 more run to win. All the West Indian supporters ready to rush on. That is it. Some of the players are going to make it. Another century partnership for Gordon Greenidge and Desmond Haynes there. 49 to Greenidge, 43 to Haynes. You can bet your life those two were looking for an unbroken partnership to take West Indies through to victory. But in fact, Nick Cook struck twice. Larry Gomes not out too and was named man of the match later on by Tony Lewis, former England captain. Vivian Richards, a very easy 22 with some unorthodox strokes. 131 for 2. Willis none for 40. Allett none for 24. Cook 2 for 27. Bowled pretty well out there. And Derek Pringle, no wicket for 25. So victory for the West Indies by 8 wickets, and a very, very solid victory it was to England, very much in the game for 2 days, 2 and a bit days in fact, and then finally steamrolled by the West Indies machine. And after the match, after that victory by 8 wickets, Peter West talked with the 2 captains. First of all, Clive Lloyd. A very happy-looking Clive Lloyd, and David Gower, suitably despondent and determined at the same time. A lot of ground to make up there for England in this series, and the West Indians, as we've been saying throughout these 3 test matches, are a very, very good side indeed.